Hey guys, Mr. Tweet here. So let's talk about demand real quick. When we're talking about demand, we're basically talking about how much people want something. So now we could be talking about one person's demand, or eventually we'll talk about like collectively a bunch of people's demand. But demand basically means like how much people want something. So like we could look at something like right a Red Bull, right? And I can ask do you want the Red Bull? And that the question's kind of going to have multiple factors that impact if you want the Red Bull or not. Like or how thirsty are you? How tired are you? Maybe how hot is it outside and how cold is the beverage? That there's kind of various factors there. And one of the most important factors is how much is it going to cost for you to get the Red Bull? So, what we're going to do right now is we're going to kind of take all of those other factors and we're going to put them aside for now. In economics, we call this ceteris paribus. It's a Latin phrase that means kind of like everything in a box or put in a box. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all of the other variables and we're just going to put them all in a box for now, and we're not going to worry about them quite yet. Tomorrow, maybe we'll actually get into those. So we're going to take all of those other factors and we're going to kind of hold them constant, and we're just going to look at price. That's the only variable that we're going to allow to change for right now is price. So when we talk about the demand for something, we're going to kind of more narrowly define that than just how much do people want it, but we're going to narrow it down to how much do people want it at various prices. That's demand. So in general, right? Maybe you're not a fan of Red Bulls. Maybe you don't really like them that much. Maybe you're just like, it's not really my thing. Maybe you are a fan of Red Bulls and it's like, one of your favorite things. Well, that's gonna, in general, someone who doesn't really like it that much, we'd say there's not a lot of demand for that, right, by that person. Or maybe if it's collectively, none of us like it that much, then there wouldn't be much demand for it. But if it's something that you do really like, or collectively it is something as a society that we enjoy, then we would say that there is significant demand. So demand is kind of a general concept, and more demand means people want it more. Less demand means people want it less. But then we could kind of break it down more specifically, and that's what you saw in this lesson today, was that I can go, all right, guys, selling Red Bulls, right? I used to have a student years ago. He used to go to Costco and he would buy like a big case of Monster energy drinks, and then he'd put them in his refrigerator at home, and he had a backpack that was insulated. And he would bring them to school and he would sell those things for $2, right? Because he'd have a cold Monster energy drink right in the middle of school when kids are tired and they're bored, and he made a killing, right? So Red Bulls, right? How much do you want it? Well, it's kind of a general question. But then if I give you like specific prices, we can start getting really specific here, right? 50 cents a Red Bull, right? How many of you guys want one delivered to your house ice cold right now, right? $1 a Red Bull. How many of you guys want one delivered to your house right now for $1? $2, $5. So what we start to see is at different prices, people are going to want different quantities. If I walked into the store and they had these Red Bulls here, if they were on sale for 50 cents each, I would buy a flat of them. I'd probably buy 2 flats of them at 50 cents each because my wife and my kids go through them like it's candy. So, right, 50 cents each, I'm buying a bunch, right? I walk into the store, they're $1 each. Maybe I buy a flat of them. It's still a pretty good price, right? $2 each, I'm definitely not buying a flat of them at $2 each, right? Maybe if I'm like really tired or if I'm really thirsty, maybe I buy one, right, at $2 each, or maybe I buy a couple, like especially if it's like, 2 for $4 or something like that. So maybe that, right? 250 each, yeah, maybe one. I'm probably not, but my wife probably is at 250 for a Red Bull, right? 350 for a Red Bull, I'm not interested. My wife still might be. But the idea here is that as the price goes up, the quantity that I am demanding is going down. And as the price goes down, the quantity that I'm demanding is going to go up, right? So that's the law of demand, right? It's more specific and it talks about the relationship between price and how much we want it. Lower price, we want more. Higher price, we want less. Last thing, right? We have some super important vocabulary to distinguish between this, right? How much I want Red Bulls in general, we call that demand. The specific number of Red Bulls that I want at a certain price, that's the quantity demanded, right? So like if I was sitting at home and there's a knock at the front door and somebody's salesman's there and he's like, "Hey dude, how much Red Bull do you demand?" Very general question, right? And he's saying, "Do you like Red Bull? You're not really a fan of it," right? That's demand, right? Very different from he says, "I got Red Bulls, $1 a can. What's your quantity demanded?" He's asking me at $1 a can, what's the number you're willing and able to buy right now, right? And I might say at $1 a can, 50 of them, right? And I'll load up the pantry. Wife and kids can go crazy, right? Or if he says $3, I might say, you look like a nice guy. I'll help you out. I'll buy one, right? Different price, different quantity demanded. But how much I like Red Bull didn't change at all. My demand for Red Bull didn't change. Different price, different quantity demanded. But how much I want it wasn't impacted, right? Now, you might be sitting there and you might be like, but what if it's a really hot day? Or what if you're really tired? Or what if you've got a lot of grading to do, Mr. Tweed? I've heard you've got a ton, right? Those are all outside factors and we put them in the box for now. So don't worry about that. Right? Talk about that tomorrow, right? All right. See you guys in a bit. Peace.